Of the Evil Dead, Betsy Baker, Alan Sandwell, and Teresa Dilly! Oh!
Lied geht es dir? Dankeschön.
So, we have some new people in the audience that haven't been here yesterday. So I would like to start how you came to the Evil Dead movie. Yesterday we spoke about there was a short movie, and please can you tell again the people who hasn't been here yesterday how you got your parts in the movie?
Well, you know, yesterday we didn't really tell them the truth. So today we're going to tell you the real deal.
Well, we were living in Detroit, Michigan, all three of us, and I met Sam and Bruce and Rob at a restaurant for a meeting, and they wanted to know if I was interested in doing a scary movie. So then I went over to Sam's house because he still lived with his mom and dad, and I had a little audition, and he said, "Whoa, Betsy, that was spectacular."
Now, I didn't even have to audition. And he just saw my picture and he said, "You're in."
They're both lying. No, I actually went to high school with Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell and a bunch of other filmmakers who have all ended up having very successful careers, which is amazing. So I was in their early films when I was young. They did a lot of Super 8 films, and whenever they needed a girl in their films, they put me in. So we did a short film called Within the Woods, which you may have seen some crappy copy of on the internet. And from that, they raised the money to do The Evil Dead. And then they asked me to be in it, and I said, sure. And I never thought anybody would ever see it.
That is one, excuse me, Ralph. That is one of the interesting parts about this movie is that none of us thought that this movie was ever going to be anything. It was so disgusting when we shot it, the way they were pouring blood all over us, and we just never thought anybody would see this movie.
So I had a question from the audience, and it was told to me in German, so I will ask it now. Are you having plans to do a project in future days together, you three?
Well, we did. I don't know if any of you saw Brutal Massacre. It's a comedy mockumentary about being in horror films, and we three were all in it. And then we also did, Ellen produced a web series called Dangerous Women, and it's on the internet, and it's a 6-episode web series. And then we were all three recently in Sam Raimi's Oz, the Great and the Powerful. We got a very tiny part where we're all standing in the same position that we were in Evil Dead when we were looking down the cellar. Only in Oz, we're looking at the Wicked Witch. And we would love to do another thing together. Right, girls?
Right.
So, we're open for questions from the audience. Möchte jemand eine Frage stellen? Any questions? Over there?
you're back.
Oh, you had a birthday last week. Maybe I should ask the crowd to sing you a little happy birthday song. In German, kriegen wir das hin? Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. Ja? Ja, dann stimmt mal an. Na, 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 na. Na, na, na. Ein bisschen lauter, das muss man auch hören. Or happy birthday. Happy birthday. We sing it in English. You sing English. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So you see what happened? They were confused. So ask me a question, please.
I'm sure you get questions to sign something. What was the weirdest thing you got asked to sign?
She asked, what was the weirdest thing we ever got asked to sign? We have had a lot of people who've had our faces, particularly my Cheryl Monster face, tattooed on various body parts. And one day we had a guy who asked us to sign his thigh, his upper leg, for those of you who don't know the word thigh, right near where he had our faces tattooed. And then the next day, he had had the signatures tattooed.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. And I actually signed somebody's ankle next to my tattoo. So every time she puts on her shoe, here I am.
You know, and there's one woman who has all of us on her leg, and we just think it might be kind of weird when she's, you know, with her husband, and there's the three of us looking up at him.
So with Evil Dead had literally no budget at all. So how did it came all together, especially when it comes to the special effects? Can you tell us a little bit about the shooting process?
That is one of the things that Sam Raimi is famous for, is this one particular shot where he puts a camera on a 2x4 and runs. I think it's at the very beginning of the movie. So there wasn't a lot of money involved in that. It was all his creativity. And a lot of the special effects that people love so much were the... Am I interrupting you? Ralph, I think they need to be put in the corner.
They can answer the question too. So.
Yeah, Sam was very creative with the low budget that he had doing the special effects. And of course we had Tom Sullivan, who was a wonderful special effects guy. He also called himself a makeup guy, but had actually never done makeup in his life. So when we first started doing the monster makeup, he was painting on our faces with all sorts of crap that really wasn't makeup and that wasn't good for our skin at all. And he kind of learned through the process how to really do makeup.
And there was, we all lived together in one big house. Sam, Rob, Bruce, Teresa, myself, Ellen, and the small crew, and Tom. And on the nights that the cook, Goody would make us chicken and potatoes, and we would eat the chicken. And then Tom would come around and take all the chicken bones from our plates, and he would use them, you know, for props and the sword.
Sometimes you'd go in the kitchen thinking that it was soup for you, but it was actually Tom just cleaning the chicken bones for the next day's shoot.
What do you think people are still scared of the movie? You know, there has been the remake and everything, but the original Evil Dead movie from the 80s, it still holds on and it still frightens people. What do you think is that?
Our brilliant acting.
Reason.
I think that the thing about this movie, and tell me if you agree or not, is that it's just really over the top. Yeah. And I think that people, that's one of the things that people like about Evil Dead, and that's one of the things that scares them, is that it just doesn't stop. And it's just so crazy and so over the top, and there's so much blood. And I think that's what makes it remain the movie that it is.
So we have room for one more question from the audience. Over there. You can come to the stage. Yeah. Run.
Here he
Schneller.
comes.
Oh, he's not running. This is stunt guy. Was all planned.
I must ask you now, is it possible that you present your favorite song? We are gonna get you for us, for the audience. Oh, come on, you can do it. Yeah?
So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, the ladies of the Evil Dead, with Betsy Baker, with Alan Sanders, and with Teresa Tilly. Thank you.